Is your shaded balcony slowly turning into a graveyard of yellow leaves? Because I have been there. This was the coldest winter I have experienced here. My balcony is northeast facing, soft light in the morning, nothing harsh, and in winter, even less light, less evaporation, almost no airflow, and slowly yellow leaves, leaf drop. One plant went nearly bald, and one I almost killed. So I stopped guessing and started observing. Which plants actually survive low light? Which one just tolerate it? And which one struggle because of how we are caring for them, not the light itself? One plant on this list, most people will say it shouldn't survive in shade, but mine did. Let's get into it. Before we begin, one thing you need to understand: low light does not mean no light. It means slower growth, slower drying soil, and a much higher risk of overwatering. So, if your plant is struggling right now, don't panic yet, because what I learned this winter is most of the time it's not the light that's killing your plant. It's the care that has not adjusted to the light. Keep that in mind as we go through this list. Still my number one for shaded spaces, but this winter it tested me. It started getting yellow leaves and my first instinct was not enough light. But something felt off, so I checked the soil, still moist. That's when it clicked. I was watering on a summer schedule in winter. The soil wasn't drying out fast enough and I kept adding more water on top of that. So I stopped. I waited until the soil was genuinely dry before watering again, and slowly the yellowing stopped. The one moment changed how I think about low light care entirely. Green Aglonema handles shade beautifully, but in low light it is very unforgiving of frequent watering. Adjust your schedule with the season, not the calendar. And keep in mind that the colorful Aglonemas, they need much more brighter light than the green Aglonemas, and if you keep them in dark areas for longer time, they will start shedding leaves will start yellowing from the bottom, and eventually the plant will die. Syngonium handled my balcony surprisingly well this winter. I'm growing two, one in soil, one in water. The water one grows faster, more leaves, quick response. The soil one is slower but more grounded and stable. Both survived. One thing worth knowing though, if you have a variegated Syngonium, low light will slowly fade its pattern. The green variety adapts beautifully. The variegated one needs more light to hold their color. So if shade is your reality, go green. Third plant is snake plant. Snake plant survived winter without complaint. But let's be honest, it didn't grow. No new puffs, no visible changes, just stable. Winter is the time of dormancy for most of the plants, and that's actually the most important distinction in this whole video. Low light helps plants survive, it doesn't help them thrive. The snake plant is a great example of that. It will hold its ground in shade, but if you overwater it in winter, it will rot faster than you would expect. These plants need very little water in cold, low light conditions. Treat it like a guest, that's fine where it is. Just don't smother it. This next plant is very surprising plant for me because it doesn't need very bright light at all. It does well with soft morning light and then shade for the rest of the day, but I noticed something very clearly. Whenever I kept it right on the balcony railing where it receives more direct exposure, its leaves started burning. So I moved it slightly back, just a little away from direct exposure, and that's where it started doing really well. Healthy leaves, continuous growth, no burn. So this plant really helped me understand positioning. Sometimes it's not about more light, it's about the right distance from light. This one is very close to me. My Selen gold is actually a very old plant in my home, and over time I have propagated it many times. I have made so many small plants from it and even gifted them to my friends, and that itself tells you something. This plant is reliable. It does really well in shaded balcony, even in very low light conditions. It grows beautifully without needing bright light. In fact, I have noticed the opposite. If I expose it to direct sunlight, even strong morning sun, its leaves start to burn. So this is not a plant for harsh light. It prefers soft, gentle light or even shade for most of the day. If you have a northeast facing balcony like mine or a space that doesn't get strong sun, this is really good plant to keep. It's low demand, easy to propagate, and once it settles, it just keeps growing quietly. Now this is where things started getting a little more real for me, because the next plant is one I almost lost completely. My regular ZZ was fine all winter. My ZZ Raven, I almost lost it. Not because of light, because of overwatering combined with low air circulation. The soil stayed wet for longer than I anticipated, and by the time I noticed, the damage was already starting. That's the quite danger in low light spaces during winter. You cannot always see the problem until it's gone too far. ZZ plant survives low light very well, but if you want new shoots and actual growth, they need better light. In shade, your job is simply to keep them alive and not overdo the water. One tiny little tip I want to give you here, like if you want to keep snake plant, ZZ plant in the dark corner, because they can survive very well in darker corner of our house, you should always buy a bigger and bushier plant from the nurseries, and so that you would not wait for it to grow and become bushy, because it will not become bushy if you keep it in a dark corner. So you need to buy a fully grown bushy plant. Well, that will come little expensive than a small plant, but that's worth it. The next plant, this one surprised me the most. I honestly didn't expect it to survive at all in the dark shaded balcony. It stayed on my shaded balcony through the entire winter and it came out fine. No major yellowing, no collapse, no drama. Recently, I moved it slightly forward to where it catches filtered morning light and it responded immediately. Growth picked up noticeably. What Anthurium crystallinum taught me is that bright indirect light doesn't have to mean a bright room. It means gentle, consistent light, and if your care is right, watering only when needed, good drainage, no cold drafts, plants adapt more than we give them credit for. Next plant is the green pothos. My hanging pothos went almost completely bald this winter, and honestly it looked quite sad for a while. But here's what I figured out. It wasn't the light, it was the cold. This was an unusually cold winter, and pothos is more temperature sensitive than most people realize. Once temperature dropped and airflow stopped, it just shut down. Now it's recovering. New growth is coming back slowly and steadily. Pothos remains one of the most reliable low light plants out there. Just protect it from cold drafts and don't assume leaf drop always means a light problem. This one was the quiet performer of my whole balcony this winter. Almost no yellow leaves, just a few older ones naturally dying off, which is normal. and the plant stayed full, stayed bushy, stayed healthy. That's rare in low light. Most plants thin out. This one held its shape and the variegation stayed intact, which surprised me. Most variegated plants lose their pattern in shade, but as long as this one gets even a little morning light, it holds its color beautifully. If you have a northeast or east facing balcony, this plant is worth trying. The next plant is the close relative of Brazil but slightly different behavior. I grow both green and neon heartleaf. The green one is more forgiving in low light. It adapts well and stays stable. The neon needs a bit more light to hold its brightness, otherwise it slowly turns more yellow-green than vibrant. I grew my neon from a cutting and trained it on a round trellis near a window with soft morning light, and it's doing very well now. One thing I have learned with philodendrons in shade, don't expect them to become bushy on their own. Plants need stronger light to produce that dense full growth. So if you want a lush plant in a low light space, start with one that's already bushy. In shade, it will maintain, not build. Peace lily is marketed everywhere as a low light plant, and that part is true. It survives beautifully in shade. The foliage stays green and lush. It doesn't complain much, and it's generally easy to manage. But there's one thing no one tells you clearly enough. It will not flower in deep shade. If you want blooms, you need brighter indirect light. In a shaded balcony, treat it as a foliage plant and it will reward you with beautiful, consistent greenery. For winter care specifically, peace lily is very sensitive to overwatering when light is low. The soil stays wet longer in colder weather, and these roots are not forgiving of sitting in moisture. So always check the soil before you water. If you see slight drooping, don't panic and immediately water it. Check first. It droops both when thirsty and when overwatered. So know the difference. The next plant, I don't personally grow these yet, so I won't speak at length about them, but they come up often enough that they are worth mentioning. Cast iron plant is one of the most shade tolerant plants available. The name says it all. Parlor palm handles low light better than most palms, which are usually light hungry. If your space is deeply shaded and you have struggled with most plants, these are worth researching. Low light is not the enemy. Wrong care is in low light is. When light drops, everything slows down. Growth, evaporation, the plant's ability to recover from mistakes. So your care needs to slow down too. Water less, observe more, stop watering on a fixed schedule, and start watering based on what the soil actually tells you. And when you are buying plants for a shaded space, always choose a healthy bushy plant to begin with, because in low light plants maintain what they have. They don't build from scratch easily. Your job is to support that maintenance, not push for growth that the conditions cannot support. Tell me in the comments which plant on this list surprised you and what direction does your balcony face, because every balcony behaves differently, and once you understand yours, your plant stops struggling.